One of the bigger hurdles when switching from an iPhone to an Android is all of your data. So Samsung addresses it with Smartswitch, and I show you what the process looks like in this video. Let's dive right in. So on the first part, you see me logging into iCloud to make sure that all of the data that I want to back up from my iPhone into the Android is selected and toggled on. Now, you see me plug in my two phones here with a Lightning to USB-C, but it's a little bit too early. And the Galaxy Z Fold 5 here is being set up as if it was brand new. So you'll see me log in a couple of times, which is just part of starting a new Android phone regardless. So here you see me select the iPhone option, and here it prompts me to log into my Google account, which I do. And this is where you want to plug in your cables to connect your phones together. You don't have to, but this is apparently the quicker way to do it. So just make sure your batteries are fully charged, because you'll need fully charged batteries for this process. Now you see me starting to transfer, and right now it's collecting the data, and it shows me all the things that I can have transferred from the iPhone to the Samsung phone. And if you pause here, you see that there are a couple things that can't be transferred, like FaceTime calls and histories, specific iMessage responses, and apparently the home screen background, which you can actually transfer over. And so here are the options that you can see. I just kind of jump around seeing what is actually involved or what is actually going to be transferred in. And here it's pretty cool. You get all of your calls and contacts that can transfer. You can get all of your iMessages transferred and all of history. Of course, all the apps that you have on your phone. And also you can transfer your calendars and notes as long as the notes aren't locked. And of course, the home screen as well. So I don't know why it said you couldn't do that. Of course, images, videos are all going to be transferred over, and I think total it was anywhere between 50 to 59 gigabytes. It might have been around 59 for this, as I was transferring everything from my iPhone to the Z Fold 5. I skipped transferring over the messaging apps because you can mirror them from your main device, and I currently carry around both my iPhone and my Samsung. And so anyways, I'm transferring the data. I have to log in, allow permission a few more times. And of course, I'm going to skip the portions where it's as if you're starting or getting a new Android or Samsung phone from scratch. So I skip all of those steps and I try to get to the part where it actually starts to transfer data. And it leads you to the homepage on the Samsung phone. And I jump here where it shows you what I was confused. I thought, is it already done? But no, it's actually transferring in the background. So if you need to, you can actually use your phone. And I start a timer. I'm not using my phones here because I want to preserve the battery. I think, close to 90% when I started, or maybe it's closer to 80, I can't remember. And it drains all the way down to 30%, I think, by the end of it, or maybe 30, 40%. I skip. It takes an hour and 40 minutes just about, which is a really long time to transfer all the data, but you're not done yet. It now has to organize that transferred data so that your phone can not only access the data but make your Samsung look exactly like what your iPhone was, which is really neat, and it gets really close to it. But I'll show you in a second. It says 12 hours, but it's not 12. It's maybe another hour or an hour and a half. And as soon as I log into or unlock my Android, you can see that all the folders that I made on my iPhone are transferred over, plus all the Samsung native apps that are on it. So it doesn't look exactly like it when you first open up your Android Samsung phone, but all the apps are there, all the pictures are there, all the messages are there. And right here, I have 59.15 gigabytes transferred, including all the apps, pictures, photos, notes, etc. And apparently you have to turn off iMessage on your iPhone so that, of course, if you transferred an eSIM over, you can get those coming into your Android as well. So everything transferred over really well. It was a seamless process. It just took a really long time. All of my notes that I've used over the years on my iPhone are here, and I'll show you at the end of the video, but the folders as well. I utilize the folders on my Notes app extensively, and those are transferred too seamlessly. All the pictures, I just opened the gallery and you see that too. But the swipe up from the bottom and searching for apps is the same. The navigation is the same. The background is the same. Everything transferred over except for the logged in data apps. So I just opened Coinbase here. I'm not a heavy Bitcoin or I'm not really into it, but I just want to show you have to re-log into all of your apps. And here I'm going to show you, so this is part 2, I just jumped right into it, with an Android phone that you've already set up and you only want to transfer, let's say, the data that's on your iPhone. I wanted to do this on the S24 Ultra because I like the layout that I have currently set up, and I didn't want to transfer all the apps because I know I don't use all of my apps on my iPhone. So I synced it up. I opened Smartswitch on the S24 Ultra, and I chose only the messages, calls and contacts, photos and videos that I wanted to, and of course the notes that I want to transfer over. So this also took about an hour and a half. It was a little bit quicker than my Fold 5, and that process is exactly the same. It's identical. I set up a timer. It's not exact. I figured I should time it just for the sake of making sure that I'm recording it all. And as you can see, it's transferring. By the way, when it says 1 minute left, it's like another 15 minutes, so don't believe what that says. All right, so all the data was transferred over, and what's left is for it to organize, which I think was quicker just because I didn't have all the apps, and it was just the photos, videos, and notes, which was much faster. I think it was closer to 15 or 20 minutes, not the 12 hours that it states. And everything is the same, the way I left it, but once I go into my notes, then all of the notes that I had on my iPhone you can find, and all of the videos as well. Here's the last bit of it. I'm about to wrap up, but basically you can see the folders that I made on my iPhone transferred directly into my Samsung Notes, which is amazing. I definitely utilize my notes quite a bit, and I was really glad that they did that well. I'm going to show you the Fold 5 real quick. I didn't show you in the beginning, but same folders transferred over seamlessly. And overall, the process was quite straightforward. It's just time consuming. So make sure your batteries are fully charged and that you do it in the evening. But Samsung made it easy to jump over the hurdle. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.